The women in Vietnam are particularly empowering to learn about. They've been warriors throughout history, they've been providers, they have major roles in their families and the community. This is why I dedicate this video to the women in Vietnam, and I hope for anybody following along to this sequence that you feel deeply empowered as well. This yoga sequence will tap into your feminine power by holding strong poses as well as integrating the Lotus Mudra, which symbolizes love, beauty, and grace. Now close your eyes and start to breathe into your abdomen. Deep inhales and full exhales. Bring your hands to heart center and think of an intention for your practice. Now your hands are going to open up into the Lotus Mudra. If you need to open your eyes to see what the Lotus Mudra is, you can, and then close your eyes again. Tap into your feminine strength as you raise the Lotus Mudra above your head for a stretch and release. Inhale your right arm up and exhale to stretch to the side. Breathing into your side body, bicep is next to your ear and you can look up towards your fingertips if you'd like. Inhale to come back up. Release your hand down and then inhale your left hand up. And exhale to stretch to the other side. Make sure you're not just crunching into the side of your body, but you're actively lengthening as well. Again, breathing into that side stretch. Your shoulder is plugged into the socket. Inhale to come back up. Release your hand down. Inhale both hands up. And exhale to come forward into a forward fold. Walk your hands back up towards your body and stand up. We're going to come to the top of our mat now, coming to Tadasana, mountain pose. Inhale to reach your hands up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Open up your Lotus Mudra by your heart, tapping into that feminine power. Raise the lotus above your head for a stretch and exhale to release your hands. Hands come to your hips, grounding through your feet. Core is engaged. Now you're going to raise your knee up so that your leg is at a 90-degree angle. Foot is flexed. Give that foot a little kick and then place it back behind you so you're in a warrior one stance. Reach your arms up for warrior one. Make sure those hips are squared. Think about pushing that left hip back and your right hip forward. Feeling strong like a warrior. Hands come to heart center. Open up your Lotus Mudra, raise it above your head. Hands come down to your hips, turning to the side for Goddess pose. So your toes are turned to the outer corners of your mat, knees are bent in a low squat. Tuck your pelvis under, engage your core, and reach those arms up. Feeling the strength of a goddess. Strength, power, beauty, kindness, love, grace. You are a goddess. Hands come to your hips, turning back into your warrior one stance. Foot comes back up. Your leg is at a 90-degree angle again. Give it a little kick. Step back into your warrior one. Arms reaching up. Hands to heart center. Open up your lotus. Raise the lotus above your head. Hands to hips. Back to your goddess. Open up your arms above your head. Hands back to hips, turning to your warrior one. Leg comes back up. Give a little kick. Step back into your warrior one. Reach your arms up. Hands to heart center. Open up your lotus. Reach it above your head. Hands to your hips. Turning to your goddess. Open those arms up above your head. Hands to hip. Turning to your warrior one stance. Raise that knee up. Give a little kick. Back to your warrior one. Reach those arms up over your head. Hands to heart center. Open up your lotus. Raise the lotus above your head. Hands to hips. Turning to your goddess. Reach your arms up above your head. Good job. Hands back to hips. Warrior one. Reach that knee up. And hold. Engaging your core. Engaging your glutes. Now that foot is going to come to your inner leg, either the inner thigh or your shin, even your ankle, just avoid the knee. And we're coming into our tree pose. Hands at heart center. You can do a prayer mudra or the Lotus Mudra. Raise that lotus above your head. Open up your hands if that feels good to you. Allowing all that feminine energy to flow through you with power and grace. Hands back to heart center. Hands to your hips. Give your foot a little kick. Step down into your Tadasana. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, hinging from your hips, fold forward and down. Inhale to come halfway up. Exhale down. Plant your hands into your mat. Step your right foot back. Lower your knee, coming into a low lunge. Reach your arms up above your head, stretching through that hip flexor. And breathe. Hands come down to your mat. Step your left foot back. Chest comes to your mat. Moving forward into a cobra. Chest comes back down, hips come up, curl your toes under, push yourself up into a downward facing dog. You can walk out your dog, make sure you're rooted through your feet and your hands, bending your knees, whatever movement feels good to you, and actively pushing those hips up towards the sky. Look up towards the top of your mat, step your right foot up. In between your hands, lower the left knee, reach your hands up for a low lunge. Inhale here. And as you exhale, place your hands back down onto the mat, curl your back toes under, step that foot up to meet your right foot. Inhale halfway up, exhale down. Inhale, come all the way up, big juicy stretch up towards the sky, hands to heart center. Open up your Lotus Mudra. Breathe it in, lift it up above your head. Exhale your hands to your hips. And now the left foot comes up, your leg is at a 90-degree angle, foot is flexed, core is engaged, rooting through all four corners of that bottom foot. Give that foot a little kick, and then step it back into your warrior one. Reach those arms up over your head and stretch. Strength and power of a warrior flowing through you. Hands come to heart center now. Open up that Lotus Mudra. Raise it above your head. And release. Hands to your hips. Turning for your goddess pose now. Those toes are turned out. You're bending into your knees. Arms are raised above your head. Core is engaged. Pelvis is tucked under. Bend a little bit further into those knees. Breathe in power of a goddess. Hands come back to your hips, turning back to that warrior one stance. Foot comes back up, leg is at 90 degrees. give a little kick, step back into your warrior one, reach your arms up, hands to heart center, open to a Lotus Mudra, raise it above your head, hands to your hips, turning for your goddess pose, reach those arms up over your head. Exhale, hands to your hips, turning to your warrior one stance, reach that knee back up, give your foot a little kick, step back into your warrior one, reach your arms up, hands to heart center, Lotus Mudra, raise the Lotus Mudra above your head, hands to hips, turning to your goddess pose, reach those arms up. Hands to your hips, turning for warrior one stance, knee comes up, give your foot a little kick, step back into your warrior one, reach those arms up over your head, hands to heart center, Lotus Mudra, raise the lotus above your head, release your hands to your hips, turning for your goddess pose. Hands reach for the sky, they come back to your hips, turning to warrior one, knee comes back up, and hold here. Core is engaged, glutes are engaged. Breathing. And then you're going to come into your tree pose. So place that foot on a part of your leg that feels good to you, avoiding the knee area. Hands are at heart center. Opening your Lotus Mudra now. Raise it above your head. Open up your hands. Hands come back to heart center now. Hands to hips, give your foot a little kick and step back down to your Tadasana. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, hinge from your hips, fold forward and down. Inhale to come halfway up. Exhale down, plant your hands into your mat. And now step your left foot back for that low lunge. Point your toes out behind you. Inhale, reach your arms up. Sink those hips forward and down. And breathe. Hands come back down to the mat. Step your right foot back. Lower your chest. Inhale to scoop up into your cobra pose. Exhale, lower your chest, lift up your hips, curl your toes under, and push yourself up and back into your downward facing dog. That upside down V pose. Reaching that tailbone up towards the sky. Actively rooting through your hands and your feet. Look forward. Step your left foot forward. Right knee comes down. Toes point out behind you. Arms reach up for that low lunge. Exhale your hands down to your mat. Curl your back toes under. Step the foot up to the top of your mat. Inhale halfway up. Exhale down. Inhale to come all the way up, big stretch up towards the sky. Exhale your hands to heart center. Remembering your intention for yourself, sit your hips down into chair pose. Curl your pelvis under, engage your core. Check to make sure that your knees are not past your toes, and try to bend even further into those legs. Really engaging your thighs, engaging your glutes. And then we're going to come into our eagle pose. So, right hand crosses over your left, twist at the forearms, and if you can, clasp your hands or the backs of your hands can come together. Now your right leg comes over your left, still sitting down into those hips, and it can act as a kickstand, or you can wrap the ankle around the back of your shin. Core is engaged. You're pressing all of your limbs together for this very difficult pose. Good job. Release. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale down. I'm going to do the other side now. So sit into your chair pose. Check your alignment. Engage your core. Reach those arms up. Try to sit even lower. This time your left arm comes over your right, twisting at the forearms, either clasping your hands or the backs of your hands are together. And then the left leg comes over the right, and you can either use the foot as a kickstand or you can wrap the ankle behind your shin. Pressing those legs together, pressing your arms together to remain steady, finding your drishti point to focus on. Good work. Release. Inhale, reach up, big stretch. Give a little smile. Exhale, hands down. Inhale, reach back up. Exhale, hinge from your hips, fold forward and down. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, down. Walk, step, or jump back into your plank. Exhale, lower. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale to your downward facing dog. Think about knitting your ribs together, as well as actively pushing that tailbone up towards the sky, and your heels come down a little bit further. Look to the top of your mat, lower your knees. Knees come mat width distance apart, toes touch. Lower your hips down, lower your head down for child's pose. Rest here, come back to your breath. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. I hope you feel strong and empowered, graceful and beautiful. Namaste. Don't forget to subscribe if you enjoy my channel, and like this video if you feel empowered and strong and feminine. Share it with anybody you think might like it, and I hope to see you again soon.